Move on to the now infamous segment 7 days and up to, but not exceeding another 7 days.
Yes, let's do it.
Alrighty, let's do a bit of a recap here. So, the points as they stand from last week. Regan, you're on a total of 9 points.
9.
Balthazar, you're leading the pack quite considerably on 17 from the insane guess of 6.3, your recourse score. Absolutely brilliant. So let me get you guys to test out your buzzers there, make sure that's all working. Wow, that was a bit of a strange double up there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, sounds like
does that one go?
No, it can go much louder. I just don't
we don't want to deafen everyone.
Two more.
Nice. So, I think we're good to go on this side, Ed.
Good to go?
Mm.
All right, get ready here. So, question 1. Last week, a new trailer was released for EA's upcoming World War I shooter Battlefield 1. Can you tell me what will separate this campaign from others in terms of structure and storytelling? Balthazar.
Rather than being a campaign following one kind of soldier through the story, it's going to be broken up into the stories of multiple different people in multiple sides of the war.
Nice one. Yes, that is absolutely correct. With that one, you get 1 point. I should have said that before. It's worth 1 point. So Battlefield 1 is going to be broken up into a series of mini-narratives following a bunch of different people involved in the war, such as a British tank man and a rebel closely associated with Lawrence of Arabia. So actually sounding pretty interesting, and
I think that would be a really good way to go.
Yeah, I think the campaign looks relatively promising at this point. As opposed to previous Battlefields where I finished the campaign and literally felt nothing.
Mm.
So
I think it's because I guess when you're spreading, you're spreading yourself like across multiple things. There's always going to be something a little bit different for each of the characters for people to kind of relate to, I suppose. And
yeah, I think so. And if they take a Valiant Hearts route on that thing, where that's a very similar thing as well, their narratives kind of intertwined, and I'm sure the Battlefield ones probably will as well. Where you're in the shoes of a whole bunch of different people in a whole bunch of different positions in the war. It was really, really good. Gave you a whole bunch of different viewpoints, and it was decent. So be keeping an eye on Battlefield. All right, question 2. Now this one is worth 1 point as well. Which indie game released in the last year is being adapted into a film?
Ooh.
Indie game into a film. So think of indie games released in the last year. Think of it's not something that obscure. You'll definitely know it.
Man, this is bad. We should have checked the news, eh?
Yeah.
Anyone want to take a guess? Balthazar.
No Man's Sky.
That would be incredible. Infinite movie.
Is that an indie game?
It is, yeah. That's the problem with it. Is that it was sold as a
Shots
AAA,
fired.
but it's indie. So.
Shots fired by Regan. Regan.
Another complete guess. Inside?
No, it's not Inside. Although that would make for a pretty interesting film.
It'd be insane, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be. I don't know how that would work. You guys, any more guesses you wanna chuck out there?
Journey. That wasn't last year.
No,
I don't know
not.
many indie games.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I'm not sure. I'm intrigued to know though.
You'll both probably be pretty surprised then. I thought you might have heard of this, but it's Firewatch.
Oh, I did hear that. Oh.
Yeah, so as reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Firewatch developer Campo Santo signed a big deal with the production company to make both films and video games. The first of these being a silver screen adaptation of Firewatch.
That's cool.
Yeah, interesting to see what was pretty much already a movie being made into a movie.
yeah.
I'm sure the film will feature such highlights as invisible walls, headless protagonist, and will be the first full-length feature to bring universal nausea as audiences endure an unlocked frame rate, often drifting into the single digits. Shots fired at Firewatch. I love Firewatch. It was a good game.
First patch, didn't they? It became playable.
It did. It was a really good game once the frame rate was sorted. But yeah, no. Firewatch. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think the voice acting was so damn good in that game. I don't know anyone can beat that. So
it was great. Yeah, I mean that was the thing that people touted as the thing that really carried that game.
It absolutely was. Yeah, it looked pretty cool as well. But it was made in Unity again. So there was some weird sort of, you'd go up to a wall and you couldn't walk like right up to the wall because they'd be invisible. Like it's just that sort of immersion breaking things that are just in games made in Unity.
It's still $24 on Steam as well, so I'm still out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Have you not played it yet?
Nah.
No.
I'd recommend giving it a bite. Maybe when it gets down to like 15.
Yeah.
Pick it up then. But yeah. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. Next question here. Which previously console exclusive franchise is reportedly coming to PC next year? It's with 1 point, Balthazar.
I'd have to know this one. Destiny.
Destiny is correct. It is the Destiny universe, or probably Destiny 2, which will be out, no doubt be out next year. Most likely coming with a Best Buy voucher or some Red Bull or some bullshit. So look out for that. But you might be able to get your unlimited, uncapped frame rate.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You've been after, so yeah, cool. Keep an eye out for that one. Bungie going back to their PC roots, as they originally made Marathon on PC and Halo 1, Halo 2. I don't think
Halo 2 was on Games for Vista. Yeah.
Games for Vista. What a
when that was a thing.
Halo 3 never came to PC, did it?
It didn't, no. There was that weird German or Russian Halo game they did, which was Halo 3 multiplayer on PC.
Right.
And Bungie let them do it for a while, but then it disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Interesting. Okay. Alright, let me just jot these down. Cool. So Balthazar, you've got 2 points so far. Regan, I don't believe you've got any.
No, thanks for that. Thanks for the reply.
I was just checking it. Just
oh
checking.
Man, I just haven't even had a chance to read the news this week. This is okay. This is all right. Next, if I don't get any next week,
you might get this next question because it's Ubisoft, your favourite game developer.
Oh, brilliant!
So next question: Ubisoft game designer Marcel Ansel teased the return of a beloved franchise on his Instagram this week. But what was it he posted, and what game was it teasing? Begin.
I have no idea, but I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say it was Assassin's Creed, and he was teasing make your own tower kit.
That unfortunately is not correct. That would be too much of a parody, I think, for me if that actually happens. Some sort of tower defense Assassin's Creed. Balthazar.
Mine's a guess, and I apologise profusely if the developers of this game are not Ubisoft. But for whatever reason, I feel that Rayman was a Ubisoft game. And
now, you are correct. Rayman is a Ubisoft game. It was published by Ubisoft.
But
and what was the rest you were going to say there?
I don't know. That I have no idea what the tweet would have been, but that's something about Rayman coming back.
It's not Rayman, unfortunately, but Rayman is definitely a Ubisoft property. It's made in the Ubi artwork.
Ubi art beloved franchise.
Yeah, well, Rayman's pretty awesome. It's a pretty freaking cool game. Yeah, made with Ubi art like Child of Light and Valiant Hearts. Quite an interesting engine that's in the Ubi art thing. So, unfortunately, it's not. The Ubisoft game that was teased in the last week was Beyond Good and Evil 2. So that the Marcel Ansel, who was the game designer for Beyond Good and Evil, the original, posted a piece of what looks to be concept artwork on his Instagram for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, Beyond Good and Evil 2 was teased back in E3 2008, and then in 2009, Ubisoft actually completely denied they even teased it, despite there being video evidence of fact. So it looks like they're going back on that again, and because they retweeted this bloke, so it sounds like Beyond Good and Evil was actually in the works. So not too sure what's going on there, Ubisoft. Maybe make your bloody mind up. But yeah, no points for anyone on that one, I'm afraid. Next question here: the newest episode of IDOS's Hitman 2016. which has just been recently released. Where's it set? Where's episode 5 set? Regan.
Did they finally do E3?
They haven't done E3. Unfortunately,
I just don't know any of these others. I should know this one. I played Hitman.
I thought you might be in on the Hitman question, but doesn't sound like it. Any guesses there, Balthazar?
Montreal.
Ooh, that's a great guess actually. A very educated guess. But no, it's not Montreal, unfortunately. That would be quite fun, considering a lot of people in Montreal are very rude. Very rude.
Wow.
Yeah. It's also a lovely city and there's lots of lovely people there, but there's a lot of people as well. No, the new episode of Hitman is set in Colorado in the USA, state of Colorado. So taking a step back from previous exotic locations such as Italy, France and Marrakesh, episode 5 sees players mucking around Colorado. Presumably the actual hitmanning won't be this difficult this time around, as Colorado is one of the few states that permits concealed carry of firearms.
I wonder if maybe this is because I remember when they originally teased the new Hitman. There were all those trailers of him in kind of like the snow, and he's walking about in the snow. I wonder if that's where it's getting to now. Interesting.
It could be. I mean, it's a controversial choice considering Colorado does not have a great history with guns. They had Columbine, they had the Dark Knight Aurora shooting, they've had a couple of other ones as well. It's not great, but he's hoping IDOS pops us into Florida next so we can simply have the target come onto our property and shoot them then. Alright, no points for anyone on that one either, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Next question. Sony, still suffering residual 4K burns, has recently announced that the Division Forward Works is back in action after a rough start around Vita launch time. What the hell do these guys do? Balthazar.
Vita stuff.
Not. I can't quite give you that, I'm afraid. Technically, yes, but that's pretty broad. Regan.
Did they announce like something that shouldn't have been announced, or something along those lines?
4K Vitas.
Who knows?
No, I'm afraid not. This was actually an official announcement from Sony. So ForwardWorks is a division handling mobile and smartphone gaming. The first iteration of this was PlayStation Mobile, and it failed miserably back when the Ouya left a bad taste in everyone's mouth and no one really wanted to play, really decent IPs on, a shitty version of decent IPs essentially. But I'm sure we can all look forward to such exclusives as Little Big Samsung Galaxy and the last firmware. Alrighty, no points for anyone on that. Oh, you guys need to start brushing up on your news, I think.
Oh, big time. It's been a tough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's been hard, alright?
It's playing all those games, Regan. It's a hard life, man.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You've really got to, prioritise your time, and sometimes, it's just tough.
Well, after that sob story, we'll move on to the next question. Which character will be making an appearance as an NPC in Yooka-Laylee? Now, this is a relatively well-known character, and they're an indie character.
Oh, you said indie?
Yeah.
I already buzzed in.
You can say whatever you want.
I don't know, indie characters. What's the indie game? Quick. Super Meat Boy.
No, it's not Super Meat Boy. Although you're kind of in the right vein, Regan.
Maybe that Yarn one, Yarny?
No, not Yarny from Unravel. No, unfortunately not the wee charismatic Yarn guy. We were looking for Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight, the wee medieval pixel art landscaper, will be making an appearance in Platonic's Yooka-Laylee as a quest giver. Yooka-Laylee is due 2017, and the other NPCs announced for the game include Kartos, who's a minecart eerily reminiscent of a very angry Ashen Greekman, and a snake called Trouser. So it's feeling pretty rare. Platonic has had some people who used to work at Rare Rare Software. So I'm looking forward to that a lot because I love Rare. They're a great developer, well, they used to be. So we'll move on to the next question here. The Advertising Standards Authority in the UK have recently launched an inquiry into the misleading marketing of No Man's Sky. But when was the last tweet from Sean Murray's @NoManSky Twitter account? So I'll just tell you, you get 2 points you get a point for the month, a point for the day, and a bonus point if you can summarise what the gist of what he said in that last tweet was.
I want to say June the 30th, and the summary of the tweet was, we are working hard on supporting No Man's Sky, or something like that.
I'll give you 1 point for that, Regan. I won't reveal what the 1 point's for until Balthazar gives his one. Yep. Balthazar.
It was factually August the 15th, and it was, "Don't listen, Mum, they're just jealous."
You also get 1 point for that. So, Regan, your point was for the summation of the tweet, which you were pretty bang on with. The tweet verbatim was, "We're totally focused on customer support right now. Then we'll move on to improving and adding features to the game," and a thumbs up emoticon.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Thumbs
and
up.
Balthazar, you get the month, which was August, but it was August the 18th. That the last tweet from Sean Murray's No Man's Sky Twitter account was made.
They have been quiet for a long time, eh?
They have been quiet for a long time. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of this advertising standards shenanigans. I wanted to believe for such a long time that, you know, they were fine. They were just a small company. They were doing their best, but something stinks, boys.
Yeah, something stinks hard. I think, although from what I remember reading, it was, I think the advertising standards kind of complaint was more against Steam.
Yeah, a lot of it was centered around Steam because there were so many Steam obviously has, you know, millions and millions and millions of users, and there were so many irate bad reviews and essentially the trailers not advertising things like factions and you know, other bits and pieces that weren't, as far as we know, actually in the game.
Actually ever in the game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in the future, although at present the silence tells me that this game might be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would love for them to come out with, like, in a month's time, come out with like a, hey, here's a big fucking 2.0 patch.
Yeah.
And it fills in all of the gaps. But I think you're right, man. I think we might have seen the demise of Hello Games.
Yeah, the radio silence speaks more than Sean Murray ever could.
Yeah, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. He has said a lot of things.
Will you be able to play with your friends? Yeah.
A lot of things. So, yeah, no, you guys get 1 point each for that one. So that's all good. All right, in the last 2 days, Mafia 3 has caused some stirs due to something to do with its release. Can anyone tell me what's got people's knickers in a twist? Balthazar.
That they keep putting an unskippable 30-second fucking ad in front of every YouTube video anyone tries to watch.
Though
And now
probably
everyone
factual.
hates Mafia 3 even though it's not out yet, because all they get is Mafia 3 when they're trying to watch something else.
Though probably factual, not the one I was looking for. I use an ad blocker, so I've never seen these, but I will take your word for it. Regan, any ideas?
Of course, like, this is the thing, like, this is the only game I've been, like, looking at in the past week or so.
Yep.
Except for the last couple days. I don't know. Would you call it like controversy? Like, is it causing controversy? Was that?
It's not. You know, it's something that's pretty ambiguous, and it's something that happens to games relatively often.
Is there a huge
but it's
day one
something.
patch?
No, it's not. It's not a huge day one patch.
It's been delayed.
No, it hasn't been delayed either. It's something relatively innocuous, but it is
Day one
associated.
DLC.
No, I'll have to end the guesses there. It's so review copies of the game will not be given out prior to the release.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the embargo won't be lifted until after the game comes out. So the game's set to be released in 5 days' time, and these copies won't be going out to journalists prior to the release. This can sometimes be a sign of quality or lack thereof, but we also need to keep in mind that the same thing happened to Doom, and that was probably one of the best games of the year. So time will tell on that one, I think, on old Mafia 3. I think, Regan, you're definitely the most excited of us for it.
Yeah, I even saw it because Balthazar opened up Steam just before, and it was on the front page of Steam. I guess I'm assuming as a pre-order.
Yeah,
I'm pumped for it. I'm sort of still trying to toss up whether I want to get it on Steam or on PS4, just so that I can kind of get a gauge of how it plays on PS4.
right.
But yeah, no, I'm totally getting it, absolutely 100%.
Good stuff. So you'll be picking that one up on release day, will you?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
And look forward to a review not there long after.
Very nice, very nice. I'm looking forward to
pull some all-nighters to make it happen. Because I'm all about the people and giving them what they want. So
definitely, man. Dedication to the cause. That's what we're after. I'm looking back to New Orleans. I've been there in real life and had an absolute blast. Bourbon Street is the debauchery central. That's where all sorts of shenanigans happen, which I won't go into details on what those are. But that leads me to the final question, guys. Final question of this episode of 7 days and up to but not exceeding another 7 days. PlayStation Plus games for October have been released, or are at least have been announced. Maybe not in New Zealand, been released, because we always get them way later than everyone else, which sucks ass. But can you guys tell me the PlayStation Plus games? I'm looking for 6 games, and there's a point for every game. Balthazar.
I only know one, Transformers Devastation.
That's correct. Platinum Games Transformers Devastation is one of those for PS4, which I'm pretty stoked about. I remember you saying it was really good.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to picking that one up.
this is frustrating because this is another thing where I looked the other day. I was like, I wonder what the PlayStation Plus games are going to be, and it was like 2 or 3 days before they were announced, and I was like, fuck it, I'll check that later on. And I checked it before now.
Should have checked.
Should have checked. I have
you
no idea.
want to take a mad stab? I'll tell you guys one of the because there's usually two for each Vita, 2 PS3, 2 PS4. Well, the other PS4 one that's not Transformers is a horror title.
Until Dawn?
No, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But no.
I got nothing.
No,
Horror title.
horror title. It's going to be too easy if I say anything more. Revamped horror title.
Nah.
No? Okay, so that one was Resident Evil HD, or the Resident Evil remake, essentially, for PS4.
Cool.
So those
are the
are
only
the
two I saw, because you linked that video to us, and I never watched the video. I just looked at the thumbnail, which had Resident Evil and Transformers on it. And I was like, that looks pretty good.
Those are the only two I would have mentioned because I can't play PS3 or Vita games. But I'll tell you the rest of them.
Yep.
So we've got Resident Evil remake, PS4, Transformers Devastation for PS4. PS3, we've got Max Riders, which I have absolutely no idea what that is. From Dust, which I remember being some sort of building thing.
From Dust.
It was some sort of environment, sort of geoforming type top-down game or something like that. Maybe with aspects of Age of Empires Civilization type stuff in there. We also have for Vita. Now, I don't understand what this title is. I'm assuming it's Japanese because it's got a whole bunch of subtitles and things. So it's called Code, and then : Realize, squiggly line, Guardian of Rebirth, squiggly line. I'm not too sure if the squiggly lines are stylized as part of the title or what's going on there. But yeah, that one, I'm not sure anyone's heard of that. And the final one for Vita is called Actual Sunlight, which presumably is just some sort of photosynthesis simulator, or
maybe it's just like a Torch app kind of thing.
That'd be amazing. A Torch application for the PlayStation Vita.
I've googled Code Realize and still can't work out what it is. It's just a whole load of pictures. I think it might be a visual novel, maybe.
Okay. Is it manga?
Oh no, that's Vita. That class. I thought it was a PS1 game. Yeah, no idea. There's a dude called Lupin in it. I only use my fists to speak with people at your level.
Oh, well, it could be. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that thing is, but it's probably rubbish. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the quiz, and the total points for that one, Regan, you got 2, Balthazar, you got 4.
Did I get 2 points?
You got 2 points, man.
Thanks.
Yep.
That's generous.
You're on 11, and 21 for Balthazar are the grand totals at the moment. So just about doubling Regan's.
Look he has on his face right now.
But yeah, no, that's us. That's 7 days and up to, but not exceeding another 7 days for another 2 weeks, and we may be back next time, or we might have something new up our sleeves. So keep tuned for that.